particularly foreign loans. And I'll take that, with your permission, together with the last question from distinguished senator, also on debt. I think there is the need for some clarification in terms of how debt numbers are reported. So first, for external loans, we always need the approval of the National Assembly. So what tends to happen is, when we get the approval of the National Assembly, the media would rightly report it. And many people take that as money borrowed. When we now borrow the money, they report it again. So, in fact, I think it was last year when the National Assembly approved about $20 billion, which was based on MTEF. So people add up big numbers as the money we have borrowed. And that is misleading in terms of the analysis. We're currently finalizing this breakdown in the Ministry of Finance. We'll make it available to the public. It will show how much the National Assembly approved and how much of that we have borrowed and how it has been spent. In addition to that...
But you have not exceeded what National Assembly has approved?
No, we haven't. Okay. In fact, we've not even taken half of what the National Assembly has approved.
Okay.
And we're also guided by the Fiscal Responsibility Act that only allows the government to borrow for capital expenditure and human development. So we are mindful of that. The other important issue is that NRS exceeding revenue, Customs Service exceeding revenue. Where is all this money going, and why are we still borrowing? And it's a very important question. Important because we have a lot of needs as a country. When we take our budget, and let's say it's 10 naira, that is the amount we want to spend, including personnel costs, running government, paying debt service, and building infrastructure. It's 10 naira. We looked at all our numbers and we say we can generate 6 naira. 6 naira is our revenue target. Our expenditure is 10. If we end up generating revenue of 7 naira, we will say we have exceeded our revenue target. It's not a lie. But we still need 3 naira to balance the budget because we need to spend 10. So this is the reason why both can coexist. Government can exceed revenue target and still have to borrow. And in terms of where the money is going, this is one of the analyses we are working on in the Ministry of Finance. Very soon we're going to be able to release it, putting numbers to it. But just to give a couple of examples.
Well, budget, implementation of a budget, I'm not an economist, I'm a lawyer. But from the little economy that economy, is it 101, that I learned in the university, implementation of a budget is a function of the revenue that government was able to collect. From the figures that you have read out, and from the brief that we have gotten from the Nigeria Revenue Service, almost all the revenue generating agencies have exceeded their target of revenue collection. If we have exceeded the target of our revenue collection, it is inherently contradictory for government to woefully fail to implement the budget. Where are these revenue going to? If the budget, for example, 2025 budget has not been implemented, and we have to roll over 70% of 2025 to 2026, and that with the promise that 30% will be implemented before March. Up to March, even 30% was not implemented. National Assembly has to extend the lifespan of the budget up to September to allow government to implement just 30% component of 2025 budget. The issue of 2026 have not arisen completely, has not arisen. Has not even started up initial. It has not even arisen. So, don't you think is it not contradictory? Or where are these revenues going to?
We have seen the astronomical rise in borrowing. And this borrowing is of serious concern to Nigerians. What I'm saying is in the public domain, is not anything hidden. When this government came in, it inherited, I think, over 75 trillion naira. Now it has added almost 75 to 80 trillion naira in borrowing. And despite this, budget implementation is nowhere where we want it to be, as said by the Chief Whip of the Senate. We have not even started implementing the 2026 budget.